Hey, you guys, welcome to Pretty Plated and Paid. My name is Big Confidence Energy, and today we're going to talk about 7 things every business needs to know. So, this is my little notepad so I can keep my notes all aligned. So, I want to talk to you, ladies and fellas, that want to open a new business. One of the things you need to know to open a new business, you need to know what entity you want to be in business. Do you want to be a DBA? A DBA is doing business as. That means a name. So let's say you own a shop. You could say Chris's Auto Shop. That's doing business as. You can use your social. You do not need a EIN number. A limited liability corporation, a LLC. In California, in order to have an LLC, they make you pay $800 a year to have an LLC. So if you do want to have a business, you might want to venture off in Arizona or Vegas to open your business so you don't have to pay that $800. That $800 is whether you make money or not. Okay? So you still have to make pay that. So the next thing we're going to do is a S corporation or a partnership. Okay? It is different businesses, and you pick which one you want to do. Typically, what I do is, depending on what type of business it is, I do a doing business as. If you're doing an LLC, right, that you would want that to be a restaurant. You would want that to be maybe you're a nurse, okay? Because you definitely want to have insurance. But if you're doing business as, let's say you're a caterer, let's say you are a nail tech, let's say you are a hair braider out of your house. You could do a DBA and use your social. The second thing is you want to create a business name. Now, when you create this business name, ladies and fellas, you don't only want to just create this business name, you want to run this business name to make sure this business name is not taken. If the business name is taken, you may not use it. Okay? You have to make sure it is not taken. So, in order to do that, I normally go on GoDaddy and type in the business name to make sure it is valid and I can use it. You can look on Google and say, where can I find business names that are open? I use GoDaddy, so I would suggest that site, okay? Another thing is you need to figure out what kind of business you're doing. What I tell everybody in business is you need to figure out if you were making no money from this business, would you still like to do it? And most people would say no. It is important to have a passion for what you're doing because there is going to be slow seasons and it might even be a slow start depending on the business you create. Okay, I'll give you an example. I have had catering businesses, I've had a restaurant, I have had a hair salon, I have had a party planning business. I've had lots of different businesses. And one business that took the longest to make money was my little restaurant. Restaurants normally take 3 to 5 years to be successful. Most of them are never successful. And that's just a fact and the truth. Now, I'm not saying that to discourage you if you want to open a restaurant. I'm just giving you the statistics and the facts, okay? So, also, you want to do is what is your business offering? What makes your business different than the next business? Because you got to realize right now, due to COVID, everybody's trying to be a business owner. Everybody is trying to listen to these big Instagram um, famous people to follow what they're doing because they think it's going to work. I want to tell you something. In order to be an entrepreneur, in order to be successful, you have to be relentless. You are going to hear no all the time. You are going to hear, oh no, I don't want your business. Sometimes you're going to get discouraged, okay? But I want to tell you something. The reason why became successful is I failed my way to success. And that's the truth. When you fail in something, you get better at it. You get relentless. And a lot of people, they fail and they'll say, oh no, business is not for me. If you want to work and get paid every 2 weeks, right? Expect for someone else to put money in your pocket, to never be rich, because most people are never rich doing that. You're making them rich, then stay doing that. But if you want to take a risk on yourself, you want to bet on you, Do it now, like Nike. Do not wait. Do it now. Stop waiting for the perfect opportunity. It's never going to come. Just do it. So let's get back to these topics. So I want to recommend three payment systems I feel every business should use. Okay. I use Square. Square, the percentage is not that bad. I use Apple Pay and Zelle. The systems I would not recommend is PayPal, Venmo. I'm going to tell you why. PayPal and Venmo, depending on what kind of business you do, they will block you if you're having too many transactions. They will hold your money for 6 to 18 months and then possibly not even release it to you. Those payment apps are very risky, even if you have a legitimate business. I have had clients and even myself, when I had a catering business, it said that it was fraudulent stuff on my account. Mind you, there was nothing fraudulent on there. They held my money, then eventually they gave it to me. That was a huge inconvenience. So I want to tell all you new business owners, stay away from PayPal and Venmo. Because if you have a lot of transactions a day, they might flag your account and you will not have access to your money. Okay. So I hope that really helps you. Also, I want you guys to make sure you have a policy visible for clients to see on your website, on your IG, on your YouTube, on your TikTok. You want this policy in place. Let's say, prime example, you have a policy if a client does not cancel in 48 hours, they will get charged 50%. You need that in writing. So if they try to dispute it with their bank or try to take you to court, you have that proof right there because it's in writing and it was visible. Okay. So that's one important thing. So let's get to the fourth one. I tell every new business you need to have 5 to 10 testimonials or reviews. When people Google your business and they see you have no reviews, they're going to say one or two things. You either do bad business or you are a new business. A lot of people do not like doing business with new businesses with no reviews. They don't trust it. So, what I want you to do tonight, if you are a new business owner, I want you to send your Google business profile page to your mama, your auntie, your nana, your cousin from way back when, and have them do reviews for you. Make sure the reviews are valid. When I mean the reviews are valid, make sure they're services you actually offer. Make sure you can execute that service, okay? 5 to 10 reviews will get you more clientele because every client nowadays is looking at reviews, okay? So another thing what I want you to do is I want you to think of how you are going to market your business. You need one social media page, you don't need 50, okay? I have multiple, but I have multiple because I do different things. But you need only one social media page if you have a business. What I want to tell you is if you are doing business, do not be posting pictures of you and your husband on vacation with your butt out. Do not post pictures of you with your kids dancing to Chris Brown. Okay? You need a straight, clean business page with no personal stuff on there. For one, no one needs to know your personal business. For two, you want people to judge you off business, not your personal life. Okay? I'm just telling you what I know, and I know that works. Everything I have online that I've done business in, I strict it straight to business. I do not post anything personal on there. So another thing what I want you to do is get digital business cards where people could get your QR code when you're out or get physical business cards. The reason why I'm telling you this, the old fashioned way is when I go to businesses, what I do is I ask them, is it okay for me to put business cards right here? Most businesses will say, yes, it is okay. Whatever business you are doing, places that will allow you to put your stuff is college campuses, UPS stores, other business, real estate businesses, libraries. It just depends on what business you do. Okay. Another thing is what I want you guys to consider is the best type of client to have is word of mouth. Anytime I had a business in my life and I had a repeat client, it was word of mouth. Those were always the best clients. Clients that come through social media or through other sites, sometimes they're not the best clients for whatever business I'm doing at the time, okay? So word of mouth is going to be your best clientele. Those people are going to be willing to pay you what you're worth. They're not going to go back and forth with you and try to knock down your price because someone already told them how good your service is. So that works. I want to also tell you two things you can do to get extra business. I'm going to give you example. Example 1. You do legal contracts. You contact a business, John's Cleaners. John's Cleaners, hello, my name is Zoya. I do professional business contracts for anybody in business. I can do contracts for you and your employees, contracts for you and services you offer, or people that do services for you. And I can also do contracts for policies. Is that something you're interested in? John might say, oh, well, I don't really need that. And say, okay, John, that's fine. But I do want to let you know this, right? And when you do not have contracts for your business, you are not protecting your business, right? Because when you have contracts in place, if somebody does try to sue you, you have a contract. If you do not have a contract, you are putting your business at risk every time. You need a contract, okay? And that goes for any business owner. You need contracts. Now, I make contracts because I have a paralegal degree and my associates, so I've been doing contracts for years. So I do make business contracts, custom contracts for people. If you would be interested in seeing some of that kind of content for you to make it for yourself, or also just for you to know how to make it, okay? So with that, you're going to give him an offer that he can't refuse. John, right now I'm going to give you $49.95, your first 5 business contracts for $49.95. I normally charge $200 for these contracts. These contracts will be law abiding in the city and state you are in. If you do happen to go to court, which more than likely you will not, this contract will protect you. What I do is when I do any contract for a client, I do Legal Shield or Legal Zoom and have a lawyer look over it. I have some personal friends that are lawyers, so a lot of times I just have them look over it to make sure it's legally binding. So that's free, of course. But if you do not have that, you can use Legal Zoom or Legal Shield. It is not that expensive. It's like $19.95 a month, and they will go over and say this contract is legally binding. And then you could put there this contract has been looked at by a lawyer. That will make clients get the contract even quicker. Another thing is what I want you guys to know. If you are a makeup artist, you are a hair salon, okay, and you want to advertise your services, you're going to tell every makeup artist, every nail salon, I am a hair salon. Whatever client you refer to me, I would give you $25 cash or I will give you a complimentary service up to that value. Most most people will take that, okay? So that's another way you can get business in the service industry. What I want you to do is also put money aside to go to workshops and increase your knowledge and value. If you do not take your business serious, if you do not invest in yourself, you will not see the return on your investment. Invest in you and bet on you. I do workshops and I go to things that's going to increase my knowledge all the time. I also do micro learning. That makes my brain sharp and it keeps me ready at all times. 7, I want you to have set goals on what you want your business to accomplish in the next 90 days, the next 6 months, the next 9 months, the next year. I want you to do something for your business daily, daily, not once in a blue moon, daily. When you're doing this stuff consistent daily, It puts you in a mind frame that you're going to get closer to your goals and you're going to be able to accomplish whatever goal you set in 90 days. I want to make $5,000 in 90 days. That's doable, but you have to put in the work. So thank you for joining Pretty Plated and Paid. I hope this really helps you. Subscribe, and also what I want you guys to do is let me know what else you would like to see, what other type of content you would like to see about business, cooking, and confidence tips, ladies and fellas. To the next one.